Welcome to our van plan, and today in this video we're going to be fitting the vinyl flooring in our van. I'm going up to Autogas 2000 in the week to have the gas install, so we need the floor down because that's going to come up through the floor and we don't want to be trying to floor around the manifolds, so that's why we need to do it now. There's a couple of options for flooring in the vans. There's like the click laminate type flooring, and there's also the single roll of vinyl or lino or whatever you want to call it, plus probably some other creative solutions, but those are really the two things we considered. In the end we went for the roll of vinyl because we feel like it's a consistent floor then, no gaps, no expansion and creaking and cracking, and it gives us a nice sort of warm feel floor as well. We looked around a lot of places, we ordered some online which was really expensive and then they didn't have any, so we had to cancel that order. Then we did the drive round all of the flooring shops in Basingstoke, and Carpetright did us proud because they had a roll of, it was actually a remnant roll of a piece of flooring, or the style of flooring we really liked, which was a grey kind of wood plank effect, and they had, that was quite expensive as well, but they had this roll of about 5 metres by 2 metres. I think it's around £79, so absolute bargain. So we picked that up, and today we're going to install it. It's a really hot bank holiday Monday in the UK, sweltering in fact, trying to leave this as late in the day as possible because the sun's straight onto the van. Super hot in here, but we'll get going and see how we do. So here's our floors, plywood treated with Zinsser primer. Apologies for the lighting in here, the sun is like full blast. But we kind of prepared all of this with the primer, filled all the nail holes, or the screw holes where we've screwed it to the framing below, and it's ready to go. So luckily with this van it's fairly straightforward, we don't have a step over that side, so that's all good. The areas where we need to be careful are at the front here. We've got quite a intricate area at the front there, then we're running straight all the way back to the rear wheel arches. A little bit of a curve around here, straight across the back, same the other side with the wheel arch, and then straight the way along, no step, back to the front again. So what I've done is to create these cardboard templates, which fit exactly where I need them, and then what I'll do is probably cut the vinyl to the size, the biggest size of the van, so the full width and the full length, and then use these templates that I've created. I've done one for this side, one for over here, and one for the wheel arch round to the back, and then I will lay that onto the vinyl and cut those out, and yeah, it should fit nice and snugly. So we've measured a couple of times across the width of the van and across the length of the van, and that's given us the rectangle size we need to cut out, so we can trim this huge piece of flooring down into something more manageable. We can then put that in the van and start to cut out all around all the various areas like the wheel arches and things like that. So I've marked on here with Sharpie where we're going to cut, so we'll do that now, and then we'll be able to move this into the van and start to get it into place. I've lined up as close to the front on this side and this side, so we can then use our templates to cut out those shapes and then bring the whole thing forward. Had to trim a little bit down along here because I want it to be flush on the step side. I didn't want to be cutting that, so yeah, so we're going to start on the front. Once this is done we can pull the whole thing forward right up to meet that point there. And then once that's done we can then work backwards around the wheel arches. tight along there. This is the bit where I'm not quite sure what was going on in there, but otherwise it's all good. So next stage is to then take, again sorry about the light, take this part and roll it backwards and start to cut around the wheel arches. Another step closer to feeling like a camper van rather than a van. So we've got the floor down, not glued yet, but it's cut to shape. Really pleased up here, that worked out really well. My perfectionism is struggling a bit down this end, where I cut round the wheel arches myself with that little knife there, and in the back corner. Again on this side, I'm not going to get too close, there's a little bit more of a gap there than I was hoping for, but again that's all going to be ply line, so the ply will come down in front of that, and also around here it's going to be boxed in, so really you're not going to see any of this, but overall yeah, it's good. I think part of the issue with cutting with the Stanley knife was that I didn't want to go through and cut the vapor barrier, so it just means you can be less precise, but anyway, it's all down, we know it fits, so time to take it up and give it a last clean, and then we will use the adhesive to glue it down. In terms of fixing the flooring to the plywood, we're taking a two-pronged approach. I've done a lot of research on this. Now, some people use the trim fixer to spray adhesive across the whole lot. I kind of didn't fancy doing that, partly because I'm kind of running out of time a little bit, I need to get it done tonight, but also just having all of this blasting around the van and so on. Also, most of our floor is actually going to be covered by kitchen, seat, bed and things like that, so it's less of a problem. So what I'm going to do is use this carpet tape, double-sided carpet tape, around the edges, across the back, where the kitchen units are going to be and everything else, just to give it some adhesion, and then we'll use the trim fix adhesive in the main entrance area, where the bit where we're going to be walking, basically to give maximum adhesion, and possibly a bit at the back as well where the garage is. So that's the plan. Don't need to then go mad with this, and hopefully this will do the job if we use it kind of quite well, basically everywhere we can. So we'll see what happens. The approach is going to be roll the front part back and apply the tape and everything, get everything ready, and then stick that down, and then roll the back part over the top of the front part, get everything down again, all the tape down and ready, and then roll that back over without moving the vinyl, because it's all pretty much snug in place now. Okay, we're going to do right side of the van, left side of the van, partly because the vinyl actually tucks under here, and we just want to make sure that we can tuck it in. It's better to do it that way than fold it back on itself. Also, this is going to be the adhesive area, so we'll get all the tape stuff first, and come back and do this. And we're done, our floor's down, it's fixed to the plywood using a mixture of the double-sided flooring tape and the spray adhesive. So I think that worked okay. This area's got so much spray adhesive on and it's nice and flat and smooth, and I don't think this is going anywhere, and the tape's doing a good job elsewhere. But as I said, most of this floor is going to be covered with kitchen over this side, seat and bed and garage at the back there. So luckily most of it is going to be held down through furniture and other bits and pieces. So we'll see how we go. The other lucky thing is that all of the edges are pretty much going to be covered either with the trim for the doorways or with the kitchen and the boxing in at the front and the seat and so on. So again, no one will see my average trimming around the wheel arches and other things like that. But overall it went really well. It looks fantastic. We're really pleased with this grey wood effect vinyl. It's starting to, yet again, a little step further to feeling like a camper van. Long way to go, but now we can head up north to Autogas 2000 to get our LPG installed and get the manifolds coming up through the floor ready for our kitchen build. So I hope you found this useful. If you've got any questions or comments, please add them below, and we'd love it if you considered subscribing to our channel to keep up to date with all the latest in our van build. We're also over on Instagram at Our Van Plan. We'll see you next time.